guys, I'm here to read and go through our article for seminar. First thing, let's read the directions. So for seminar prep directions, read the text twice and annotate using your annotation symbols. Remember, those are exclamation marks, those question marks, stars, where you write down questions, things that you think are important, words you don't know, connections that you made. Then you also need to write down 3 significant quotes from the article. So those are just 3 quotes or sentences from the article that you think are important. Before we get started, any of these yellow highlighted words are words that the definitions are given to you, and those are at the very end here. So any of those words, you can look at that last page to see those definitions. So let's get reading. So the title of our article is Generation Deaf, Doctors Warn of Dangers of Earbuds. First paragraph. So it says, hearing loss began early for Josh Musto, triggered or started at first by a heavy metal concert and worsened by years of playing guitar in 2 bands. Listening to loud music constantly through earbuds may be to blame for the ringing in his ears. I've been a musician forever, said Musto, now 21, and a junior at the New School in New York City. There's a lot of noise in my life. Musto is not alone. Doctors warn that a steady onslaught or increase of loud music, particularly through earbuds, is damaging, and the hearing of a generation wired for sound, although they may not realize it for years. So they're saying that a lot of people are now increasing loud noises in their ears, mostly through earbuds, and it's causing a lot of damage, but it might take them a long time to realize the damage has been done. Let's go to our next paragraph. So earlier this year, the World Health Organization warned that 1.1 billion young people were at risk of hearing loss because of personal audio devices, such as smartphones and damaging levels of sound at entertainment venues or places like electric dance music festivals, where noise levels can top 120 decibels for hours. Remember, decibels is how we measure sound, and that was in our notes from last week. So this paragraph is saying that young people are at risk for hearing loss because they use devices like smartphones to listen to sounds and music, and they go to places where it gets very loud. Next paragraph. Probably the largest cause of hearing loss is millennials using iPods and smartphones, says Dr. Sikrat Sharuki, an ear, nose, and throat specialist from Munster, Indiana. Next paragraph. Hearing loss among today's teens is about 30% higher than in the 1980s and 90s, Sharuki estimates. You once had a Walkman, or a personal radio device, with 2 AA batteries and headphone thongs that went over your ears. He told NBC News. At high volume, the sound was so distorted and the battery life was poor. Nowadays, we have smartphones that are extremely complex computers with high fidelity. So people used to have radios that they would just use simple headphones with, that if you turn the volume up, the sound got messed up and then the battery would die. But now we have really complex phones that are basically computers that can work with sounds and not mess them up. Next paragraph. Sharuki tells young patients to stop wearing headphones, especially earbuds, which place the sound closer to the eardrum, enhancing or increasing the volume by as much as 9 decibels. It is very easy to achieve unknowingly, he said. According to the National Institute of Health, repeated exposure to sound over 85 decibels can cause hearing loss. Permanent damage can happen in minutes, experts say, and when the damage is done, it's irreversible or cannot be undone. Noise exposure in kids is a growing concern, said Nicole Rea, a clinical audiologist or a person who studies sound and hearing at the University Hospital in New York, New Jersey. Rhea said that she sees more tinnitus, which is the ringing in the ears, in young people, which is an early sign of hearing loss. But we don't catch them until they are in their 20s and 30s. So a lot of young people, even kids and teenagers, have it ringing in their ears, and it's a sign of hearing loss, but they do not catch it to be able to help or stop it until they turn 20 or even 30. Next page. And because audio screening protocols or hearing tests are not sophisticated or complicated, many children with subtle damaged hearing pass hearing tests, she added. So since the tests aren't very complicated, a lot of people pass them, especially children who do have hearing damage. A study published in 2014 revealed that nerve synapses, or parts of the brain, can be more vulnerable to damage than hair cells in the inner ear. When young animals were exposed to loud noise, even just once, they had accelerated hearing loss later in life. Within minutes of exposure, the points between the hair cells and the neurons were injured and the loss was permanent, which means it lasts forever. So minutes of the sound, they had permanent damage. Said co-author Sharon Kua, director of the Department of Audiology at Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary. The problem is when there is exposure to excessive or too much noise. It goes away within a few hours. This hidden hearing loss is not picked up by standard threshold tests on which all national standards are based. Experts say the best way to protect young ears is to apply the 60-60 rule. Keep the volume on smartphones and devices under 60% and only listen for a maximum of 60 minutes a day. When using headphones in a noisy place like a school bus or subway, the tendency is to turn the volume up. And so the headphones that cover up the outside noise. And to protect your kids, use Apple's parental control setting to set lower sound levels on iPhones and iPods, locked in place with a password. For small children at loud sporting events, music concerts, or riding on a subway, buy ear protection. As for Musto, he said that he's got a lot smarter. After he's seen a doctor, he only uses the over-the-ear headphones and protects his ears from loud noise with customized earplugs. He gave up earbuds a long time ago. Today, he continues to play in 2 bands and interns at Sirius XM Radio, doing interviews and some DJing. If I couldn't hear, I wouldn't be able to do this, he said. How is your hearing? Take this online test. So you can click this link and it will test your hearing. Let's look at this picture. So it says headphones and damage. At full volume, MP3 players and other digital music devices can produce as much noise as a live rock concert. One study showed that around 89% of people will turn the volume up on their MP3 players up if there are background noises such as subways or street noises that are too loud. Studies have shown that at very high volumes, hearing loss can occur within as little as 8 minutes of listening. A good rule of thumb for using MP3 players and headphones without damaging your hearing is to listen for no more than 60 minutes a day and at no more than 60% of the max volume. Doctor's note: headphones are great. However, you need to watch the volume of whatever you are listening to. You should be able to hear someone speak at a conversational level from about 3 feet away while listening with headphones. If you cannot, the volume is too loud. Earbud, headphones, and hearing losses. Earbuds have the potential to cause more damage to hearing than traditional headphones. They are worn directly in the ear canal and have the potential to produce 7 to 9 decibels higher of sound. They also filter less ambient noise, contributing to the tendency to turn the volume up in situations that may already be at high risk for hearing loss. Doctor's note: I personally prefer over-the-ear headphones. In the ear headphones can increase the sound pressure level in the ear very quickly. With either kind of headphones, watch the volume on whatever you are listening to. There are apps to prevent the volume from exceeding a preset decibel level, and I am a big fan of those. So we've read the article once. You can play it again to listen to it a second time. But let's look at our questions and our checklist. So for seminar preparation, annotate each paragraph in the article using the annotation symbols. Look up unfamiliar words and write down their definitions. Since we're not doing this on paper, you can write them still in the margins on Notability or somewhere else if that is easier. Make sure you read the article twice so you can play this video or use the audio Miss Kristen made to listen to it again or read it by yourself. And you need to write down 3 significant quotes from the article. Remember, quotes is just some of the words, and significant is important. So just write down 3 important sentences or parts of the article that you thought are important. We do have a GBTM, which is to write down 3 discussion questions from the article or related to what we have learned in science about sound waves. So you need to do a self-assessment, so circle how well you annotated the article. So 4, a deep thinking. Your comments are made for nearly every paragraph and include a wide range of comment types, such as reaction, summary, questioning, and words. The student's thought process is clear and and richly evident through his or her comments. A 3 is beginning deep thinking. The comments are made for nearly every paragraph and include all but one comment type. It is evident that the student is thinking about the text, but the thinking could be richer. A 2 would be surface thinking. So it says comments are not made for each paragraph and or only include 2 comment types. The student's comments do not prove understanding or deep thinking about the text. And a 1 would be no evidence of thinking. So there are few comments or only surface level comments are made. There is no evidence of deep reflection with the text. So now you need to answer this question. Why did you give this score? In other words, what is your evidence from the assignment and rubric? So why did you give yourself the rating that you did? So now prepare for seminar by choosing 3 significant quotes you can copy directly from the text. For example, let's say that I thought that this sentence right here was important. So within minutes of exposure, the points between the hair cells and the neurons were injured and loss was permanent. So if I wanted that to be my quote, I could literally copy and paste it down here, and that would be my first quote. So remember, quotes are words from the text, and significant means important. So what parts of the text do you think are important? And lastly, our GBTM is to write 3 discussion questions about the text. And here are our definitions. There might be other words that you need to look up, and you can use our annotation symbol of a W for unfamiliar word and write down that definition in the margins as well. I hope this video was helpful, guys, and I hope you prepare for seminar. Talk to you later.